Hi guys, today it's time for another Top 5 Wednesday. This week's topic are your top 5 teachers or mentors, and it was actually really funny because at first when I read the topic I was like, I don't think I will have enough for that. But then when I actually sat down to write the list, I actually had more than 5 and had to cut some people out. So yeah, I'm now really excited to talk about this list because there's actually a lot of people that I really like and I'm just super excited. So let's just get into it. My number 5 is Brom? I don't know how to pronounce the name, from Eragon by Christopher Paolini. Now this is interesting because I read the first book so many years ago and I actually never continued the series because I thought the beginning of the second book was so boring. But this is a character that I just really remember liking so much. He's actually also Eragon's father, but I researched it and that was the first time when I actually remembered that he was his father. I always just remembered him as his mentor, and so I really wanted to put him on the list because even though it's been so long since I read that book and I never continued the series, he is one of those people that I just really remembered and that I just had positive thoughts about, and that actually was the first person that came to mind for me. So I just had to put him on the list. I couldn't really go into detail as to why I liked him. I just have, as I said, like very positive feelings when I think about him, and I remember that, you know, his death in the first book was horrible to me, so I just kind of wanted to put him on the list for, I guess, more nostalgic reasons than anything. But as I said, he was the first person that came to mind for me, so it would have felt wrong to not put him on the list. My number 4 is Valak from Poison Study by Maria V. Snyder, and he is someone who I like him now because obviously he becomes Yelena's love interest, but when I read the first book, it took me a really long time to understand that he is gonna become her love interest. So it doesn't have to do with the fact that there is a romantic storyline between him and Yelena. It's really just that I thought in the beginning he was just such a sassy almost mentor. I just really like that he is like very strict and that he has like very strict rules and that he has like very strict beliefs and he's very loyal and all these kinds of things, but he still always treats Yelena well. I don't know, he's also almost always a step ahead. He almost always knows what she has planned, what she is gonna do next. And I just really enjoyed him, just, you know, not even looking at the romantic storyline we get just as a mentor. I thought he was just so much fun and just a really interesting, great character. And yes, the romantic relationship just made it more great for me, but it's definitely a character that even before I realized what was going to happen, I really enjoyed. As I said, I just like him as a character in general because he's so loyal and everything, but I also think he is a really great mentor and he just makes the story more fun in a way. On number 3, I have Master Taran from the Shades of Magic trilogy. He is someone who I just admire in this weird way. He's so wise, but he's also someone who can be incredibly sassy. I also love how he has, I feel like, very kind of strict rules and he knows exactly like who he is, what he wants, what he stands for, but at the same time he is always treating Cal and Rai just in a like almost fatherly way. And you know, he has definitely moments where he knows the right thing would be to be like, no, you can't do that, but then at the same time he has this different relationship with them where he's like, I mean, they're just boys, like let them do their thing. And I just really enjoyed that. I just think also in general he's a great character and he is so important for the storyline, and just I feel like he's almost like this support not only for Cal and Rai and even Lila, but also for us as readers. I think he's always there with his strong words and with his wise words and with his inspiring words, but then sometimes also with like stupid, funny things and jokes. And I just think he is just so important for all of us. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just think like, obviously he's someone who teaches about magic, but I feel like he is more so a support in a kind of mental way, and I just love that. On number 2, I have Roland from The Archived. Now, I guess you wouldn't really 100% call him Mackenzie's mentor because, you know, her grandpa is who actually kind of teaches her about The Archived and who teaches her how to do her job. But I do think that after her grandpa's death, Roland is kind of the person who becomes her mentor, and he's kind of the person who is like the one who kind of takes care of her when it comes to the archive. And he is also someone who is always torn between wanting to do the right thing and having his own kind of morals, and, you know, obviously not wanting to fuck up his position in the archive, but at the same time having a pretty close relationship with Mackenzie and also not wanting her to, you know, get in trouble or anything. And so I also think that there is this somehow almost fatherly relationship between him and Mackenzie that makes their kind of teacher, mentor, whatever relationship really, really great and really interesting. But also just another one that is just an absolutely amazing, interesting characters. And he's actually one of the reasons as to why I would really love to see a third book in the archived series, simply because that would definitely give him a little bit more of a background story. And I just think he's such an interesting character. And I think it's really interesting that I feel like we know him very well, although we actually kind of don't know anything about him. But he just seems like this open, loving person when he's really just not open at all. I don't know, I just think he's a very interesting character, and he's so important for the archived storyline as a mentor to Mackenzie. So I just could not include him in this list. He's just wonderful. And my number one, honestly, is no surprise because I love this character so much. That character is just one of my favorite characters of all time, and that is Haymitch from the Hunger Games. I just love Haymitch so fucking much. I mean, he's one of my favorite characters of all time, but he's also one of my favorite mentors, and I went into details about him and his relationship with Katniss in particular a couple of times already on my channel. He's just wonderful, and I keep saying it, I think a lot of people definitely don't appreciate him as a character enough and what he does for Katniss, and how he, in my personal opinion, is the only reason why she survived the first games, the only reason why she survived the second games. I definitely think that Peter and Katniss have become family for him. I definitely think that they are very important in that kind of aspect, but I also just kind of think that they kind of give him a purpose as a mentor as well, and they are the first people, or Katniss in particular is the first person in a long time that he actually believes in. He's just a broken person that I love with all of my heart and that I protect at all costs. He is wonderful, I love him so much, and even while being drunk, he's still a good mentor, so he could not be my number one. I just love Haymitch so fucking much. Anyway, these were my top 5 mentors. In case you're wondering why there's nobody from Harry Potter on here, that's just because I feel like they would kind of fill the list in a way. You know, like McGonagall and Lupin, they would already have probably 2 spots, so I just decided to completely leave out any Harry Potter teachers or mentors. Obviously, I want to know some of your favorite teachers or mentors. You can mention Harry Potter, but I would also really love to hear some of your other favorite mentors and teachers that maybe don't get as much appreciation as the Harry Potter characters get. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I guess I'll see you soon. Bye!